Hi, welcome to Profile. I'm your host, Paula Hersey, and today I'm here with Amy Neal from the Cultural Center.
Hi.
Hi, Amy. The Cultural Center is going through this transformation. It's got all sorts of new things happening. There's lots to talk about today.
Yes,
But
yes.
first off, what is the Cultural Center?
We are an art venue. We have events. We have live music. We have movies. We have all kinds of things to offer the community for anything to do with the arts, basically.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's also an old bank, right?
It's an old bank. It was
Right.
the Bass River Savings Bank for decades, and it became abandoned, and it was restored, and we opened as the Cultural Center in 2007.
You've got 2007.
Yeah,
I hadn't
yeah.
realized you guys have been around that long.
Yeah, we have.
That's a
have.
long
Time flies.
And what's your position there, Amy?
I'm the Director of Education in our new education wing.
New education wing,
Yes.
and that's really what we're here to talk about
Yes.
today. That's your
Yes.
bailhouse.
That
So,
is, yes.
education. There seems to be this alarming trend in schools to cut art education and art courses, and not just art, but the whole. Maybe from music to culinary arts to photography. I mean, arts as a word
Yes.
covers dance and theater
Yeah,
and all of those types of
absolutely, yeah.
things. The new wing is really designed to help the community kind of utilize the space, but also to come and learn what they want about the arts.
Exactly.
So how
yes.
did this new wing come to be? Was there a survey or something? How did you know what the community
Yeah,
wanted?
I think it was always part of the original vision of the Cultural Center to have it be an educational resource also. But in proceeding with that, we did survey the community. We surveyed seniors and all adults, kids, teenagers. We went to the schools, and we wanted to know what they were hoping to get out of having an experience there.
Right.
So with that, we had culinary and recording were our top requests.
And that's for teenagers.
Kids, for teenagers, yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah.
recording? I can kind of get because
Right.
everybody wants to be a garage band out there.
Right,
But
right.
the whole culinary arts, that's kind of neat, huh?
Yeah, it is. I mean, we all eat, so
Right.
we can all relate. But I think it's. I think a lot of kids see that as a job opportunity on Cape Cod. So, and having a commercial kitchen like that to learn from is unique to the Cape. So, yeah,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So this new wing, this is in the basement of the building?
It's housed in the old Owl Club. The Owl Club was an old gentleman's club in the town.
Oh,
It was abandoned, just like the bank.
Yeah.
It came on our property, and it had been demolished to the ground and rebuilt. The integrity of the architecture has remained, and it basically is its own building, and we have a connector that connects the two together. So it's one and the same.
It's one the same.
Yeah.
I did not realize
Yeah,
that. That's really
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So let's talk a little bit. There's so much going on there, but let's talk a little bit about some of the offerings. Let's talk about the recording studio. That really, here at the TV station, we do have some ability for music recording, but this is really geared towards teenagers who have their own bands, who want to get something recorded.
Yes.
An album, a CD?
So any teenager really that wants to come in and use the recording studio is a priority for us. They get access, full access. They can bring their band in. They can record whatever they need to do. We have our photography studio. They can use our computer lab, and they can create an album cover, a CD cover, and kind of just come away with the full package experience. So we have a program called Rise and Shine, which serves at-risk youth, and we do workshops and mentorship programs for the kids where if we know that there's a kid out there in the community that is looking for someone to help them in music, we match them up as a mentor, and we now have this recording studio as a resource for them to come in and learn from. So,
So you're providing courses as well for these kids to actually even learn the art of audio engineering?
Yes, yes. We will definitely have classes for all ages, but we will do with children also. But through the Rise and Shine program, we can have workshops arranged for them if that's something that they want to do. We'll get an instructor and we'll set up a time and a day, and they can have a whole experience and ask questions and get to be in there and use the equipment and learn. So.
That's amazing. Well, you touched upon the photography studio. So kids come in and they can do the whole band thing in the recording studio, but a photography studio, and this is not just for kids, it's also for adults. This is a digital darkroom, probably one of the first on the Cape.
It is. It's, you know, photography now is all digital. So it's going to be a computer lab, a printing lab. We'll have photography equipment, and our photography classes will go in every possible direction. It'll be down to learning Photoshop and Lightroom and all the editing that you need to do on the computer, to learning to use your DSLR camera, iPhone photography, studio lighting, all kinds of things. So
I'd actually just saw on your website was the sort of like a portfolio type of class for photography. You could meet and do a themed series of photos, and this would be a guided experience.
Yeah, that's I'm creating a lot of series, which I'm really excited about. I've heard before that people love having the experience of a workshop, but once it's over, and then you kind of go back to everyday life and
or your bad habits.
And then So I really love the idea of getting together as a group, having an instructor, learning, and then bringing it out into real life, having time go by, and then coming back again, and having that be a growth process. So I've put one together for photography. It goes over the span of a year, and it ends with an exhibit in our grade hall in March of 2017. So the idea of an exhibit is a really big deal for any artist. So, and having that, you know, as part of a group, but you're going to have your own collection of a concept and a series where someday someone's going to see that work and know that that's yours. That's really what you want to move towards as an artist. So, and then we're doing a series class also for poetry. It's called Plein Air Poetry, and it's going to be
Plein Air Poetry.
Yeah. And it'll be all 4 seasons on the Cape, and again over the span of a year, and then it will actually have a 5th class that ends with just kind of bringing it all together and connecting and like an overview. So I love the idea of a series, so I'm excited about those.
Yeah, you always hear plein air painting, but plein air poetry,
that's a
neat little twist on that. And then one of the largest things that I think is just amazing on the Cape, and I've heard that you're pretty much selling out of every class, is the culinary classes.
Yes.
You know, a commercial kitchen on the Cape is, again, one brand new. It's and then you have Chef Austin.
We do. Chef Austin Peters, who is just
amazing.
Great. He's so entertaining, and he's an amazing chef. And he's just as excited as I am to be part of the Cultural Center. And we're taking ideas and going with it. So if someone says, I want to do a stir-fry class, we put it together and we're making it happen. So he'll do private events for people. We've had a lot of requests for, you know, a bunch of women wanting to come in and just have him cook for them. So he's doing it. So it's fun.
That's really neat. So are these culinary classes as well as hands-on too? So
It's both. It's if you're shy and you just want to watch, you can do that. If you want to be his assistant, his sous chef, you're more than welcome. He loves volunteers to come up and cook alongside with him. So yeah.
And kids, what kind of culinary classes do kids like? Is it more on the baking brownie side?
I think
or
it might be. Yeah, we're
cookies?
We're going to have a class called Storybook Bakers, which will be for little kids, like preschool age, where it's outside of the kitchen, right next to the kitchen. They can have their aprons and crack an egg and do the ingredients, and then as the cookies or brownies are baking in the oven, they'll have story time and
what fun!
You know, so
that's great.
Yeah, and then we've had requests for school-age kids and teenagers too. We've had the Rise and Shine program that's come into our kitchen, and they love it too.
Yeah, it surprised me when you told me that teenagers were really interested in cooking, and I guess maybe that's the advent of some of those shows that are on TV now, the Junior Chef and the Master Chef and those kinds of things, those competitions. Kids are seeing that, like you said, as a viable career here on the Cape, so we're better placed than to get some expert instruction.
Absolutely. Yep.
Neat. So you've got a recording studio, you've got culinary arts, you're doing plein air poetry, dance. Can I rumba?
We have rumba and tango and all kinds of ballroom dancing. We're doing Irish step dancing, African dancing, and drumming.
That's very popular now.
It is very popular, and I've done it with a couple of the workshops with the kids, and I love it. I love it.
Oh,
like
cool.
we were saying, I don't consider myself a dancer, but there's something about that drum and that movement that it's so much fun. So.
Well, that's amazing. So where are you getting some of these folks? You know, what's your age group for rumba dancing?
It's probably 50s, 60s, I would say. Is, you know, our typical demographic is, as Cape Cod is, it's older and mostly retired, but we are getting younger people in the building. We offer classes day and night, so we get the people that work all day, they can come at night, so it's a variety.
It's a variety, you're right. And then you still have that venue, which you do all sorts of different types of live events. I mean, we've seen poetry slams there, I think. We've seen Sarah Swain and the O Boys, which probably packs the house. But what other types of events do you hold there?
Oh, we just had a movie screening on Sunday. We use it as a space where any nonprofit could come in and use it as necessary for their board meetings. We have our art receptions there, all kinds of things like that.
So you still have the art galleries as well,
right? We do, yes,
and there's
always.
2 of them in there or 3?
We have our Great Hall, and then we have our vaults, which everyone loves, and then we have a boardroom and a blue room, so different sizes.
And how do artists get into those exhibits? Do they approach you to do that stuff?
We have open calls that go out throughout the year. We have member shows. If you want to become a member, you're always welcome to show your art for that. And we have just open calls. And
open calls, so people can actually say, you know, give you a call when they see something like that. Is it themed?
Yes, usually it's themed, and then we
and
have
juried?
People. Yes. And then we have people that do solo shows too, so they can come in and for a fee they rent the space and they can have a show for 2, 3, 4 weeks if they want, so depending on the calendar.
So the future of this, you know, there's this brand new wing that you have that's like literally has some of the coolest things you could think of to take classes in the arts. What are you thinking about in the future? Because this is just going to grow, I'm imagining.
This is just going to grow. Really, right now, we've only been using our main hall and our culinary kitchen. Once we get the elevator up and running.
Elevator in Cape Cod, that always makes me laugh.
We will have the downstairs open, which is the pottery studio, recording, photography, and we have our mentor studio space. We have 5 artist rental studios that are on our 2nd floor. Those are all occupied. The agreement for all of those artists to be in that space is to teach. So it's another really great, unique opportunity for someone to come in and have a semi-private art class because it's a smaller room and be around your instructor's artwork and just be surrounded by it and kind of just learn in a small class of 4 people. So that's a really unique, special experience to have.
Talk a little bit about the mentorship program. That intrigues me, is that you're not just letting these kids run wild there, or adults for that matter. I would imagine everybody can get a mentor. How does that mentorship work?
They come to me, and I work with all kinds of schools and organizations across the Cape, and we arrange for workshops and we arrange for one-on-one mentorship. So we just had some kids come in from DY, and we did the African drumming, and we kind of just observe and we put it all together. We get to host it at our place. we would send an instructor to the school depending on what the medium might be.
Right.
But as far as the one-on-one mentoring, if there's any kid that's looking for, I want to become an artist someday and I want to learn how to paint or poetry or dancing or anything, they would contact me. I have a long list of artists who are willing to be mentors, and it's almost like an interview process. We would just match them up, and it becomes about their schedule, and some beautiful, amazing relationships have come out of it. So it's such a great thing, yeah.
Well, this is great. So the Cultural Center expanding ever again.
Yes, yep.
And there's classes on the website that people can take advantage of.
Yes.
There's concerts and art exhibits and venues that folks can go basically for a nominal charge.
Yeah.
And we've been to several different concerts and things at the venue. The acoustics are fantastic. You wouldn't think that a bank would have really good acoustics.
And we have weddings and everything, so if you have a wedding, then you know it's good. So
there you go. Excellent. Well, thanks, Amy.
Thank you.
We learned a lot about the Cultural Center today. I hope the new wing and the launch of that and all the new educational programs goes well, and that you come back and tell us about what you're going to offer the kids for the summer.
Absolutely, I will.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I'm Paula Hersey, and this is Profile.